As the world's biggest kid, occasionally I do wonder upon odd pearls of wisdom. So here's one of them. I recently heard Adam Sandler say this: everything I did in her eyes, I was the best. Or that's at least how she made me feel. And if you've ever met Cassie or spent 5 minutes around her, you know I married way out of my league. She said it was the dimples, but I think it's because I told her, if you ever leave me, I'll track you down and make you a future star of your very own Netflix crime documentary. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out winning the wife lottery doesn't teach you much. But today, I'm going to introduce you to my friend Dylan, a friend who has taught me so much. A friend that looks at me the same way she does, and that's what he's taught me. Surround yourself with friends who want you to succeed and will do anything within their power to help you achieve it. I've known Dylan for over 14 years, and meeting him was a story that we'll never forget.
Well, first of all, I was working with one of our coaches that we've worked together with. Great man, great human being, Dan Schwabe. We both love him to death. Dan worked a ton with me as a junior golfer, changed my life in many ways. We were doing a pitching lesson in front of the first green at the Presidio. We're hitting some pitch shots, getting me ready, I think, for WCAL's maybe junior year at SI. And all of a sudden, a range ball comes up and rolls past the first green at the Presidio. And Dan and I are like, who hit that ball? So we're like, okay, maybe someone's on the right side of the range. Maybe they hit a long drive and they got away with it. We get up to the second tee box, back tee box at Presidio. All of a sudden, a range ball comes flying through the eucalyptus trees from the top and goes onto the tee box on number 2. And we're like, okay, we need to stop our round and go find out what's going on here. And that's when I met Ryan Winter. And so that's the first day I ever met you. And since then, it's changed my life, and it's been a great ride since then.
Coach Dylan has climbed the ranks and is becoming one of not only San Francisco Bay Area's finest coaches, but has his sights on Northern California's best. And without a doubt, becoming one of the world's most influential golf coaches. It is my honor to showcase my friend Dylan and everything he offers as a coach with literally one of the most elite private golf facilities you'll ever see. With that in mind, it's time to get to work.
How we can be us, just for one day. Standing by the wall, and the guns and we can be heroes just for one day.
If you want to truly get better at golf, whether it's taking 2 strokes off your high handicap or becoming a scratch golfer, understanding a coach's philosophy is the single most important variable when finding a golf coach. There are far too many coaches out there making golfers worse lesson after lesson, year after year, due to not having a specific game plan with each and every student for each and every lesson.
I do not prescribe that there is one way to swing a golf club. I do not use my opinion, oh, you should swing like Cameron Young, or you should swing like Matt Kuchar. I believe that there is a cause and effect relationship from the very, very start of your golf swing to the finish. And it is my job to show you what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right, first of all, lay out an entire plan from start to finish in your golf swing, and then give you your exaggerations for what you need to do to change that. My entire coaching is about habit change. It's not even really about golf. Obviously, I'm teaching you golf, but you need to understand when you come to me, it's not about just swinging right. It's about what you need to learn at every single position in your swing to exaggerate so much that you push your habits to get to where you actually need to be. Every lesson is recorded, so I'm really good at giving people what they need to do, understanding their plane, their club face, everything in their golf swing to make that change to ultimately swing on plane and get it done. So it's all about exaggerating and knowing what you need to do individually with your cause and effect relationship from start to finish in your golf swing.
This is Nate, one of Coach Dylan's finest students and a great guy, and someone who wants to take their game and skill as far as they can without turning it into a 10-year plan.
For me, I'm a very back and forth type student. Like, I can't be that guy who just sits there and just takes direction and just does it. It has to be a conversation for me because I always have questions about, different feels or where should my hips be in this position? What should my grip pressure be here? And so with Coach Dylan, I feel like we have a really great rapport back and forth, and it's easy. Like, I never feel intimidated asking dumb questions, or just, I always feel like I can ask whatever I need for me to help internalize what we're talking about. And he's going to be able to explain it in a way that's going to help me understand it, right? Because all of our brains kind of work in different ways. And so some people are really feel-based. Some people are more like logic, kind of by the numbers based. And so being able to talk through things with him, I can find what I need for it to click for me. The first time we started working together, very first lesson, I remember there was a piece of what we were working on that wasn't quite clicking for me. And so I, felt comfortable with him just saying like, hey man, so wait, when I'm here, should my hips be here? Should they be here? Like, what are we doing? And he was able to basically re-explain it in a slightly different way that helped me to really internalize that thought. And I think that's maybe one of the most important things about getting a golf coach that works for you is, there are a number of fantastic golf coaches out there. We're pretty spoiled here in the Bay Area to have some great pros. But finding someone that you feel comfortable with and you enjoy working with and you guys communicate well, because if I go see, Butch Harmon, right? But he and I just don't see eye to eye and he just can't, I can't internalize what he's saying. It's not gonna help my game that much. It just isn't. But finding a coach that you're comfortable with, you enjoy, and you have that rapport back and forth, sometimes I'll shoot him a text on a Wednesday at 6 p.m. and I'm like, hey man, I got this feel going of my hips here, my body here. Here's a picture I just took. What do you think? And he'll text me back 10 minutes later, yeah, that looks great. Or no, actually, you want to be rotating your hips a little more. Or no, feel like your chest is a little more open at that point in the swing. And so having that ability to go back and forth with him, even when we're not in an official lesson, is also really, really helpful for me.
I think the biggest thing about working with Nate is that he approaches changing in such a happy and positive manner. That's a really great thing that happens working with him. He's not down on himself. He doesn't get frustrated. He totally 100% commits to what I'm asking him to do. And he does it in a way where he's just super, super happy and super, super excited to do it. That's the first thing that I love about him. The second thing is that we've done a very organized way in getting him better. When he came to me, he was all over the place, going down a rabbit hole there, going down a rabbit hole there, wondering, what should I do? Oh, I want to do this one day. I want to feel this. Oh, this opinion matters. Oh, this opinion matters. We've identified exactly at setup, the backswing and his through swing, the things that get him to get matched up to hitting a 2-yard baby draw. And when he focuses on those things, he can go through his exact checklist of what to do to get better. And now he has that information and he's connected to it, owns it, and he knows exactly what to do. So he's gotten his thoughts instead of being, oh, I want to try this, I want to try that, I want to do this. He understands his setup, grip, stance, posture, ball position. He understands his backswing, how his hips relate to having a correct position at the top, and what he needs to do in the downswing to match up to hitting a baby draw. Obviously, these things take work, but he's done a great job at organizing his thoughts and approaching it with a very positive mindset, and I really, really love that about him.
Being a world champion and a world-class athlete myself, my expectations for a golf coach extend far beyond the range. Understanding the body and how it works, having a personal relationship with health and wellness is my firm belief that every true golf coach must not only understand it, but live it. And if you were to ask me what I value the most in Coach D's approach to the swing, it's his dedication to the process. Not only from a technical side, but he has dedicated himself to living a healthy lifestyle and understanding how to physically operate the body in order to get the best out of your golf swing at an athletic output.
I think the biggest thing about the journey that I'm going through with my weight loss, I've lost about 15 pounds since the start of this new year, is that every time I'm on the elliptical or every time I'm going for a run, it's not so much the physical act of working out, it's the mental challenge of saying, I'm going to commit to something and I'm going to push myself harder than I normally do and I'm going to finish it no matter what. And that breathes confidence into my heart and into my soul. And when I can feel that way, I feel better standing over the golf ball. I feel better coaching. I feel better in everything that I do in life. I get to the point now where I literally can't go a day without pushing myself as hard as I can in the gym, because that adds a level of calmness, a level of being cool and collected that I just didn't have before. I had points in my life where I would weigh over 220 pounds. Now I'm around 190, 195, and it's totally changed what I'm doing, how I'm swinging, and I love the challenge of it. Mentally, that is the biggest part to me, is challenging myself, pushing myself, being tired, going, I'm at the Bay Bridge, you know what? You need to push yourself to run to the Giant Stadium and push it. That's when you're on the 17th hole, you're cold, you're tired. You know what? It's time to rake a drive, flip a wedge, make birdie, and make an eagle on the last hole and finish strong.
As we get to know and understand Coach Dylan a little bit more, it's clear that he's had a solid foundation of love and support throughout this journey. And it would be a shame and impossible not to mention Dylan's oldest friend and the impact they've had on each other's lives.
Yeah, and so I think that's a unique thing about our friendship. Like, Alex obviously is one of my best friend, if not my best friend. And I think it's so unique that he's pretty much could beat me any single day. And it keeps like the level of golf so high. So it's a really cool friendship to have, for sure.
Well, it's also one of those things too, where it's like, I don't really like to play for money because for the most part I've gotten burned by too many stupid handicaps. But it's,
Yeah.
even when we're not playing for anything,
Yeah.
we're still playing for something. I
Yeah,
mean,
always.
There's always a bit of pride.
Always.
And
Yeah.
I mean, it's only your real true friends that you can really absolutely talk to. No one's feelings are gonna get hurt. So, it's fun, and especially,
I think fun things like that have happened, because Alex, we lived together when I first came out of school, and, Alex was there to kind of guide me just a little bit, to push me, which pushed you, Ryan, and between all three of us, we've become sort of this kind of fun nucleus where it's not necessarily I'm Ryan's coach, it's not necessarily like you're my caddy, but we all kind of blend together, and we all have this ability to like make each other better at golf.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, actually, getting back to that Matt Cain thing, that was one of my favorite memories. I think we were at that charity tournament.
It was for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Make-A-Wish, and we're all standing on the first tee, and Ryan's like, I think he hit his first one, like fanned it like a couple fairways over, and Matt Cain kind of like sidles up to me. It's just, we're all trying to be quiet, and he's like, this dude's built like a brick house. I was like, Matt, yes,
He's the
Matt
biggest
Cain.
guy here.
Yeah, and then he pumps one like 20 yards over the back of the green on the par 4, like into the houses, and we're all like, okay. Good.
Yeah, good memories. That was fun.
As our time winds down with Coach Dylan, we're going to catch the last couple of lessons of the day. First up is Travis, a local surfing superstar and an avid golfer.
Well, I guess it started just being kind of stagnant with the same handicap. I was a 9 handicap for probably like 10 years, and just trying to learn on YouTube, watching different instructors, kind of trying to self-diagnose. And just getting frustrated, Some days would be good, some days would be bad. And then the main thing was I didn't understand why I was hitting the ball left or right, and I didn't know my tendencies. So I ended up mutual friends. I heard a lot of good things about him, so I booked a lesson, and It was a little bit awkward at first as far as changing my swing goes, but after a few sessions at the range, my handicap dropped 3 points, and it just has been going down from there.
Next up is Ian, another one of Coach Dillon's advanced students, who has seen his game drastically improve in such a short period of time. Coach Dillon and Ian really emphasize the shot pattern and shot recognition. We all hit bad shots, but understanding why you hit that shot and how to fix it on the fly is key to playing great golf, something Ian greatly understands and applies to his game. And lastly, that brings us to Matt, Coach D's last student of the day, someone who Mango and I really enjoyed hanging out with. He's a student that brings out the best in Coach D and brings validation to all the hard work, something Coach D strives for in all of his students.
Well, I think a big part of coaching golf is knowing just how grateful you should be to do it. I'm so grateful every day that I get to do the thing that I love. My dad always taught me, Dylan, if you can do what you love in your life, you're never going to have to work a day in your life. And so my parents have always been really, really supportive of me chasing my dreams and really, really pushing me to be the best golf coach I can be. So I rely a lot on my family to keep me motivated, to keep me focused. They're really, really pushing me to be the best coach I can be, which I love. But I also love that my students care. And I love that because I really hope that they understand that I care about them genuinely. When someone walks into my studio, when someone takes a lesson from me, I give them everything. I genuinely care not about their golf swing, but also about the time that they're here with me, because this is an addition to their life where they could be with their families or be doing something else. So the fact that having people that care and I care, it's just the key sauce and the secret ingredient, I believe. And so I love golf. I genuinely do. I've been playing it since I've been 3 years old. I have a picture of me swinging a little driver, and I genuinely love the game. And that's what I really, really hope bleeds off onto people, is that I love the game fully, and I'm fully committed to being the best coach I can be.
I'm always looking forward to what's next. But that doesn't mean I occasionally don't look back and reflect on where I've been or how I got here. The people I've met, the successes, the failures, all of those motivate me to keep moving forward. And what I can say, looking back to before I met Dylan, my life was not the same. And getting to know him and becoming close is something I'll cherish forever. He's the type of person who is instrumental for me moving forward. We have so many plans together, and this was just another step on this wonderful journey together. If you want to get in touch with Coach Dylan and see how he can elevate your game to levels you never thought possible, reach out on Instagram at Dylan Smith Golf. I hope you enjoyed our time together, but now it's time to get back to work.
I'm driven.